Okay, we're here in London today with Damon Gameau, where I hope I pronounced that correctly.
It's close enough.
Good enough. Who has a new film that's really blasting out there and doing really well. So we might talk to him for a few minutes about that. We have Dr. Gerber on camera here, so you won't get to see him. But maybe first of all, Damon, your new film, and I saw it with my children, and it's fantastic. Big fan, but it's doing really well, probably exceeding your expectations even, I think.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I guess a lot of things have kind of conspired at the right time that's really helped us. I think that the fact that there's so much awareness about it now in the public, the fact that it's sort of been debated in Parliament, I mean, it's really, I guess, brought the message to the surface. And we are now the highest grossing documentary of all time in Australia, which is just, it speaks that people are ready for the message, I think, and they kind of know that we can't get any worse than we are in terms of our health, and especially with kids. And so a lot of families are watching it. A lot of parents are making their grandparents sit down and watch it and say, stop giving my kids candy every time you see them. And I think it's just, thankfully it's one of those films that people see and they want to then share it with someone they love and sort of get them educated on the message as well, which, it's as simple as that. It's just empowering people with knowledge.
Excellent. And we were in London for Health Unplugged, Daryl's conference, but you're here for a specific event. You were a medical type event.
Yeah, so that was on the Saturday with the Royal Society of Medicine, so even sort of room full of doctors and whatnot that are really sort of again opening up to this message, which is fantastic. And then there's lots of different screenings for school kids here as well. There's another event, and the film also opens in Belgium and the Netherlands this week, so I'm going over there. And plus I did have to meet sort of Jamie Oliver's people and just discuss some things we could do to collaborate moving forward. And obviously for us, he's a handy ally to have on your side.
He's a pretty big guy, really, at this stage.
Yeah,
excellent.
No, it's great.
Well, Damon, I know that I had first met you in Denver when you had a premiere, and there was a whole children's group that you were involved with. And that premiere was just wonderful, and you could just see how enthused the children were.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the most rewarding thing for me out of the whole process, is that we really made the film with kids in mind. I wanted to make it accessible to adults, but really it had to be fun and engaging so that kids would get this, because actually they're the ones that need to hear it the most. I think some of our generation has probably ingrained some of their eating habits, and it's a bit hard to change, but I think these kids are so bombarded with different health messages and this mighty food machine that really finds insidious ways to get to them, that we need to kind of counter-out that with with this message of saying food is so important to your mental, physical and emotional well-being.
Yeah, well, I had a question. I mean, sugar is something that everybody agrees to as a problem, but there's more to it than the sugar. What's next, and what are some of the other issues?
Yeah, look, we had this discussion a lot making the film of how far do you go with this message, and I think we had a lot more information in the film originally around sort of even refined carbohydrates in general, but again the decision was made just to, given the audience we were playing this for, was to really keep it simple. Let's get that first step down just to kind of reduce the sugar, and then what we find is that people do their own research. It actually empowers them to start looking for themselves and not just relying on the messages we're getting from the media, and they come to their own conclusions, and whether that's about dairy or whether that's about meat or whether it's about carbohydrates, it kind of sets them on a path of self-discovery, which really is all anyone can do. As you know, we're all kind of different, we all react differently to certain foods, and it's just great that people are taking their own power back again, because we haven't done that for too many years.
And one thing particularly I loved about the film was that you have genuine experts, and I know Professor Ken Sakaris is one of my favourites.
Professor Blood, yeah.
Professor Blood, yeah, and the way you kind of characterise them. But again, good hardcore science in your film, even though it's for kind of children and families, it's really clear the effects that the sugar had on you, and measurable and dramatic. I think it was beautiful.
Yeah, thanks, man, because that took us a long time to get that right, and I was sort of writing scripts, and I would send it out to the likes of Gary or Ken Sakaris, and sending it out to 10 different scientists to make sure that the wording was right, that was accurate, because again, I pride myself on integrity, and if you're going to have this message that goes out there and to children and whatnot, I don't want in 10 years we go, oh hey, that was it wasn't quite right there. I think it's very important that you're as accurate as you can be for this point in time, and it might change down the track, but at least in this moment I'm very confident that it is accurate.
Absolutely. Well, excellent. Listen, thanks very much, Damon.
Pleasure.
Delighted to meet you and have lunch
Absolutely.
here. And you spent quite a bit of time in Ireland too, so we'll try.
Certainly did.
We'll try.
Yeah, I have a very special place in my heart. I spent a lot of time in Dublin, in Ranelagh. Mum's from Killarney, so I've got some very, very dear friends there, and had a good crack while I was there. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, off the right time.
Off the right time.
Thanks a lot, Damon. Beautiful. From Dr. Jeff Gerber and myself, next time.